So good morning all. So yesterday we almost completed the basics chapter. So quickly we'll revise and we'll complete the GSTN concept also, and then we'll move into the supply chapter. So, okay. So if you see here, we started with the basic indirect tax mechanism. In the indirect tax, supplier is liable to pay the tax. Supplier will collect the total good or service value plus tax amount from the recipient, and such supplier is responsible or liable to pay the tax. So in simple, obligation or liability to pay tax is on seller, but supplier, but the burden is on recipient. Then federal structure means what? Central, state, local authorities, all these three layers of government having their independent status, autonomous status, like they having their powers separately, they earning their revenues separately, so they can act as like independent. So that is called the federal structure or federal essence. Taxes that were there prior to GST but were subsumed into GST. What are those? CA laws: central sales tax, advertisement tax, central sales tax, countervailing duty, advertisement tax, lottery tax, luxury tax, octroi tax, VAT, excise duty, entertainment tax, service tax. These are the taxes that are subsumed into GST. But certain points, sir, even after introduction of GST also, central government has retained the power to levy central excise duty on tobacco and tobacco related products. That means on tobacco there will be both GST and excise duty. Even after introduction of GST also, state governments has retained the power to levy state excise duty on like certain narcotic drugs, opium, Indian hemp, on these things. And then entertainment tax subsumed into GST, but entertainment tax in some places levied by local authority, in some places levied by state government. Which is subsumed? Entertainment tax levied by state governments alone is subsumed into GST. Then we discussed about the double taxation and cascading. What is double taxation? If the same amount is getting taxed multiple times, then that is called as double taxation. If there is tax on tax, it is called what? Cascading effect. Tax on tax, it is called what? Cascading effect. Then what is the need for GST? So the need for GST is like CST paid on. CST means central sales tax paid on. Interstate sale is not given as ITC. And excise duty paid on manufacture of goods is also not given as credit to traders. Non-integration of VAT and service tax. Non-inclusion of several state levies into VAT. I mean what? First point is what? On interstate sale, pre-GST era, there is no ITC because CST is paid on interstate sales. Such CST is not given as ITC. Second one, on manufacture, previously there used to be excise duty, but such excise duty cannot be taken as credit by wholesalers or retailers. Even if you look at the example here, there is excise duty. If you see here there is manufacture levied excise duty, but this excise duty is not given as credit to wholesaler or retailer. Only VAT part is given as ITC or credit. So that's a problem in the pre-GST era. Excise duty paid is not given as credit. Then non-integration of VAT and service tax. What is non-integration of VAT and service tax? On a works contract kind of. In works contract what happens, sir? Both good will be supplied, service also will be supplied. Because there is no integration, no like coordination between VAT and service tax, what happened? On the same contract, GST also levied, service tax also has been levied. Then non-inclusion of several state levies into VAT. I mean what? Sir, advertisement tax, luxury tax, lottery tax, sales tax, all these are levied by state government only. If all these are levied by state government, why multiple taxes? They can make one tax, right? So that non-inclusion of several state levies into VAT, and to bring uniformity among tax procedures and collection. To bring uniformity among tax procedures and collection. So this is what the need for GST. Okay. So what are the points here? CST paid on interstate sale is not given as ITC. Excess duty paid on manufacture of goods is also not given as credit. Non-integration of VAT and service tax. Non-inclusion of state levies into VAT to bring uniformity among tax procedures and collection. India, how many states, sir? 28 states. How many union territories? 8. How many union territories are having separate state legislature? 3. Okay, what are those? Pondicherry, Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi. So these 3 are almost like states only. Territorial waters extends up to. Exclusive economic zones extends up to. Then Article 246. What is the role of Article 246? It consists of 3 lists: union list, state list, concurrent list. Okay, so union list, if any matter is mentioned in union list, on them the power to frame law is with whom? Central government. If any matter is mentioned in state list, then the power to frame law is with whom? State government. Okay, if any matter is mentioned in concurrent list, then the power is with whom? Both central and state. Then, sir, the existing Article 246 cannot be, it doesn't suit to introduce GST. That's why instead of changing this, they introduce one more article for the sake of introduction of GST. So Article 246A empowers central government and state governments to frame laws with respect to GST. Then Article 269A. Why? Sir, in GST, there is no single tax. On intrastate transactions, CGST and SGST will be levied. On interstate transactions, CGST and SGST will be levied. On interstate transactions, IGST will be levied. Okay, CGST will go to central government, SGST will go to state government. So there's a problem in interstate transactions. Why? Because IGST collected and such collection is made by central government. So in that, how it will be apportioned between center and states? For that only Article 269A. It empowers central government to levy tax on interstate supplies, which will be distributed between center and states. Then taxation model. How many taxation models? Already said. Intrastate na, dual GST, interstate na, integrated. Then Article 366. What it says? It defines GST. GST is a tax levied on supply of goods, services or both, except alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Why alcohol kept outside of GST? States are not ready to share their revenue with the central. So on alcohol, exclusive right to levy tax is with state government. Then Article 279A, it empowers the president to form GST council. Who will act as chairperson of council? Union Finance Minister. Then another Union Finance Minister only, another Union Minister for State in charge of finance will also be a member. And from every state, Finance Minister or any other minister nominated also will be member. Okay, to take a decision in council, how much vote should be in favor? 3/4 should be in favor. What is the central government voting power? 1/3. There are 2 members only representing central government, but their voting power is equal to 1/3. All the states together, 2/3. What is the quorum? 50% is the quorum. Then, to make it, what council can do? Council can give recommendations to central and state governments on what? Tax rates, exemptions, threshold limits, taxes to be subsumed, principles of levy, and the date from which petroleum products can be taxed under GST. Okay, now tell, what are called petroleum products? HP man, H means high speed diesel oil, P means petroleum crude, M means motor spirit, A means aviation turbine fuel, and N means natural gas. Okay, key points regarding GST. So GST is introduced by making Constitution's 101st Amendment applicable from when? 1st July 2017. India adopted which model? Canadian GST model. GST is a what? Destination based tax, and GST is a value added tax. Why it is destination based tax? Because the tax revenue will be given to the destination state instead of the origin state. And then it is a value added tax. Why it is called as value added tax? Because at every stage, the tax paid in the prior stages is given as credit and is eligible for set off. So effectively you are paying only the value addition made, the tax on value addition made on that particular stage. That's why it is called as what? Value added tax. Then compensation cess. Sir, why compensation cess is levied? Compensation cess is levied by central government. Okay, but the money generated through compensation cess will be used for what? To compensating the loss of state governments which which are getting lost due to introduction of GST. And it will be in force till 31st March 2026. Okay, it is levied on what? Intrastate as well as interstate, but not on every good, sir. Levied on luxury goods and demerit goods. Compensation cess is in addition to CGST, SGST and IGST. Then we discussed about the differences between direct taxes and indirect taxes. In direct taxes, incidence is on taxpayer, whereas in indirect taxes it is on end consumer. Progressive, regressive. Shifting of tax burden possible under indirect taxes, not possible under indirect taxes. Direct taxes are levied on income generation, whereas indirect taxes on consumption. What are the administrative bodies? For direct taxes, CBDT, indirect taxes, CBIC. Examples here, income tax, here GST and customs. Then features of indirect taxes are revenue source to the government. So because of indirect taxes, there is much better revenue source has been found out. Almost 50% of the revenues are from indirect taxes only. Then regressive in nature. Irrespective of rich and poor, everybody taxed at the same rate. Inflationary. What does it mean by inflationary? By levying indirect taxes, the prices of goods will increase. The prices of goods and services will increase, which leads to inflationary situation. C means what? Commodities and services. So it is a tax levied not only on goods, it is levied on both goods and services. S means shifting of tax burden. Shifting of tax burden. Then H means higher tax base. Higher tax base means what? There are wide range of goods and services available under indirect taxes on which they can levy taxes with very less exemptions. And W is for welfare. How do they contribute to welfare? The goods, like sin goods, are taxed at a higher rate, which increases their value or price. So obviously their demand will come down. In that way they are contributing even to the welfare. Benefits of GST. Boost to Make in India initiative. By introducing GST, the prices of the goods will become cheaper, goods and services. Why? Because many hidden costs were now eliminated by providing ITC at each and every stage. By getting ITC at each and every stage, there are no hidden costs, no blockage of credits, so that their costs will come down, so they'll produce goods at much more cheaper. So when they can produce much more cheaper, even internationally also, our products will have more demand and all, so it can encourage or boost the Make in India initiative. Increase government revenue. How? Sir, indirect tax is designed in such a way that the tax system itself has made counter checks at each and every point, so that the tax evasion has become so tough now. So because of this, there is no scope for tax evasion, the government revenue will increase automatically. Third one, elimination of double taxation. Why? Because there are no multiple taxes now. There are no multiple taxes, all have been subsumed. And then mitigating the ill effects of cascading. At every stage, tax paid is given as credit. So there is no cascading also. The last one, creation of unified national market. Since from whichever the state you buy, you will get ITC. To whichever the state you sell, no problem, you can adjust ITCs. So instead of treating one state as one market, it has been integrated or unified the whole nation as one market. You can buy from anywhere, you can sell to anywhere. Same laws, same procedures across the nation. Then we started, sir, GSTN also. So what is the need of GSTN, sir? GSTN is a Section 8 company which is wholly owned by government. GSTN acts as a clearing house. GSTN acts as a clearing house. What? Sir, the IGST revenue has to be taken by whom? Central and state. But who will do that distribution? GSTN. That's why it acts as a clearing house to settle the revenue between center and states. It manages a website called www.gst.gov.in, which acts as a linkage to all the stakeholders. It acts as a linkage to all the stakeholders. So functions of GSTN. What does it do? It facilitates registration, forwards, facilitates registration is different, granting registration is different. What is meant by facilitation of registration, sir? Like instead of you going to the offices physically, through online, you can apply. And even the communications also made everything online. So it helps you in getting the registration, facilitates. And when you file a return also, such return will be forwarded to central and state authorities. Matching the tax payment with bank network. It means whatever the amount deducted from bank shall reflect in your particular ledger also. That's called matching the tax payment with bank network. Then settlement and computation of IGST. For whom this is? Government. For central and state governments, it will do settlement and computation of IGST. Then providing various MIS reports to government. What are called MIS reports? Management Information System reports. It means, sir, GSTN will have so much of data. That data, GSTN itself will summarize and give it to the government to take decisions. Let's say government thinking of reducing the GST rate on iron. But it has to know first how much revenue they're going to lose, how many people are going to get benefit because of reducing the GST rate on iron industry. So to take that decision, they need information data. So that data will be provided in the form of reports by GSTN only, which are called Management Information System reports. Then providing analysis on taxpayers' profile. So there are no manual files. From past 10 years, what is happening in your GST, they will not maintain manual files now. Everything maintained what? Digitally only. So digitally how they maintain? They will create a profile for you. In that profile, everything related to you will be there. So GSTN will analyze that profile. Okay, and then it decides, are there any risk parameters? Okay, if there are any risk parameters identified, then they can initiate summary or initiate assessment for you. Okay, last one, running the matching engine. What is matching engine? Supplier files GSTR1. From this GSTR1, the outwards are reflected to the corresponding recipients. Where? In which form? 2A, 2B. When supplier files GSTR1, from GSTR1s, GSTN will take the outward supplies, and such outwards will be reflected to the corresponding recipients as their inward supplies in where? GSTR 2A, 2B. That's why, okay, that reflecting from corresponding supplier to the corresponding recipient is only called as matching concept. So that matching concept, matching engine is also run by whom? GSTN. Now, vision of GSTN. Sir, vision, mission. Sir, vision is long term in nature. Mission is comparatively, sir, vision, let's take like after 25 years what you should be or what you want to be is called vision. To achieve your vision, what you wanted to do in the next 5 years, next 10 years is called as mission. Okay, to achieve your mission, the goal you keep for the next 1 year is called as goal or objectives. Understand, sir? So mission is also long term, but vision is much more longer compared to the mission. Okay, so what is the ultimate vision of GSTN? They wanted to become trusted national information utility. Across the nation, GSTN will have so much of data. For the government, GSTN wants to be the trusted information utility. Across the nation, right? Trusted information utility. So they can provide the trusted information to take decisions, and which provides reliable, efficient and robust IT. Which provides what? Reliable, efficient and robust IT. Why IT, sir? Because IT is the backbone for smooth functioning of GST. Because at every place, GST is integrated with IT. So when the tech functions are tech-wise, when there are no issues, then GST implementation will become much more easier also. That's why its vision, first vision is what? There are like 3 points in this. First one, it should become the trusted national information utility. Second one, it should become reliable, efficient and robust IT. It has to provide that. Why? Because now it is the backbone for the smooth functioning of GST. And third one, to leverage the entire nation as one market. It wants to connect the whole nation with as one market. How it can connect, sir? Because even if you are in Assam, you use the same GST portal. Even if you are in Andhra Pradesh, you will use the same GST portal. So that way, they wanted to leverage. Leverage means nothing but connecting the entire nation as one market. 3. And the fourth one, with minimal compliance cost. Okay, minimal compliance cost means what, sir? Sir, usually, what is called compliance? Following this, doing registrations, issuing invoices, filing returns. This following rules is only called as what? Compliances. These days, the taxpayers cannot do all those. That's why they're taking help of us. But what is the vision of GSTN? To remove us. Okay, as if the taxpayer only can do all those functions. Okay, so I mean, they wanted to make sure that the interface will become so easy that they themselves can file returns, they themselves can register, they themselves can do anything needed from GSTs and all. Okay, related to GST. So, what is the fourth one, sir? Minimalizing the compliance cost. So, vision, sir, break down into 4 points. First one, trusted national information utility. Reliable, efficient, robust IT, because it is the backbone for smooth functioning of ITC. Leverage the entire nation as one market, and then minimizing the compliance cost. This is the vision. Okay, all this is like one statement only, but we broke down into 4 parts. Then mission. Sir, mission shall not be something. When vision is your mission, should be in line with your vision. Understand, sir? When your vision is like to become a politician, then your mission shouldn't be something else. Okay, your mission also should be what? Like in the coming 5 years, I should be an MLA. See, your long-term vision is to become chief minister, sir. Then your immediate mission will be what? At least to become MLA, right? Okay, what is the 1 year goal? To become a corporator. It will be the 1 year aim or objective. Mission of GSTN. What is the mission? To provide common ID infrastructure with central government, state government and other stakeholders. Why is our common ID infrastructure? 3 vision points it can be connected. First one, leveraging the entire nation as one market. For this can be connected. And then to provide national information utility, so that when they have common ID infrastructure, common information will be available. Then it only provide common registration, return, tax payment services. Why it provide all those is the mission? Because to minimize compliance cost. Collaborate with GSPs. GSPs means goods and service tax with the providers. Nothing but these are certain IT companies, fintech companies, not even IT, fintech. Fintech means what? They're gonna provide tech which is related to finance, like these softwares. ERP packages will be provided by SAP, Oracle, Zoho, Tally. So, okay, these kind of companies are called as what? Which are identified by GST and are called as GST Suvidha providers. Sir, why it has to collaborate with them? It will collaborate with them and ask those companies to develop the softwares which will make the functioning of GST more easy to the taxpayers. Okay, so to roll out GST applications, and then it provide efficient back-end services to government department. How? National, trusted national information utility. The back-end services are nothing but what they do. They give various reports and all, so that the decision making to the government will become much more easy. Develop taxpayer profiling utility. For every taxpayer, a profile will be created. Okay, for administration. Sir, when a profile is there, they need not to search manually files. Now, everything will be there only, and the system itself will scrutinize. Like what? In 2023 July month, what is the turnover you reported? In 24 what? 25 what? 26 what? Now, 4 years data is there. Now, based on that data, the system itself will check. Let's say, sir, in 2023 you reported July month, you reported your sales as 40 lakhs. 24, 45. 25, 50. That means what? There is significant growth year to year of your sales in the July month. at least July month if you compare also. But in 2026 you reported 30 lakhs. 40, 45, 50, it should be now what? At least above 50. But now it dropped to how much? 30 lakhs. So that means there is something wrong is happening. So the system can immediately raise an alert and all. Such analysis can be done directly by the GSTN. Then assist authorities, okay, with this kind of information, with this kind of red flags, okay, it will assist the authorities in improving compliance and transparency. So this is what it's the mission of GSTN. The last one, advantages of GSTN. What are the advantages of GSTN, sir? Sir, it's not like advantages, simple thing. You, either a user or taxpayer. Advantage is like you can lodge a complaint and raise a ticket number. See, where any function in the GST or GSTN portal is not working for you, then what? You can raise a complaint. When you raise a complaint, they'll give you a ticket number. Then what? User or taxpayer provides required information to resolve. Okay, they may even provide the required information to resolve the issue. Then user, whenever he need, he can check the status of his complaints. Then what system will do? They will provide resolving comments which can be checked by user. The last, even they provide FAQs also. FAQs means what? Frequently asked questions. Instead of you raising query for everything, you can refer to the frequently asked questions. There also you'll get answers. So this is advantage is nothing but when a functionality is not there for you, or if it is not working for you, you can raise a complaint, provide required information to the department, to the GSTN to sort out that particular issue. Third one, whenever you want, you can go log in and check your status of the complaint. Fourth one, the system, the GSTN people, they will post the resolving comments also, whether the issue is solved or to solve the issue, what has to be done, that will be posted there. And last one, they even provide FAQs. These are the advantages of GSTN. Then sir, rules per apportionment of credit. Sir, on what will get ITC? Outward supplies or inward supplies, sir? On inward supplies will get ITC. If you had an interstate inward supply, what credit will get? IGST. If you have an intrastate inward supply, CGST and SGST. Same way, if you have a intrastate outward supply, you will have CGST and SGST liability. If you have a interstate liability, interstate outward supply, then IGST liability will be there. So you have three types of credits: IGST, CGST, SGST. You have three types of liabilities: IGST, CGST, SGST. Now the question is, yes, ITC can be used to set off with tax payable, but can it be done in any random order? There are certain rules how to set off the ITC with tax payable or the tax liability on outwards also. First to start is always with what? IGST. IGST has to be first adjusted with IGST liability. Still balance is there. It can be set off with both CGST or SGST in any ratio, in any proportion. Understand, sir? IGST credit has to be first set off with what? IGST liability, then with CGST or SGST in any ratio, in any proportion. Next, only when IGST credit is completely used, there is no balance in IGST credit, then only we can start using what? CGST credit or SGST credit. So CGST credit has to be first set off with what? CGST, then with IGST, never with SGST. Then the same way, SGST credit has to be first set off with SGST, then with IGST, but never with CGST. Okay, na? Sir, understand the point. IGST liability is there. Let's say 5 lakhs. IGST credit is 2 lakhs only. So now what you will do? IGST credit 2 lakhs adjusted with IGST liability. Still how much liability is there? 3 lakhs. Now for paying this 3 lakhs, you have CGST credit, SGST credit also. Which you should use first? Sir, understand the simple point. For discharging IGST liability, if IGST credit is not enough, First take CGST, then take SGST. So in simple, IGST is giving. Like it has surplus credit, it is adjusting, giving. When IGST is giving, both CGST and SGST are equal only. You can adjust it any ratio, in any proportion, no order. But an IGST has to take. Liability is there, credit not enough. IGST has to take. First take from where? CGST, then from SGST. IGST is giving first to itself, IGST, then with CGST or SGST in any ratio, in any proportion. But when IGST has to take, first take from where? IGST only. Then that is not enough. Then take from where? CGST first, then after SGST. Okay? And cess. Cess also will be given as credit, sir. But cess credit can be adjusted only with cess liability. Cess credit can be adjusted only with cess liability. And then, sir, once we go to supply chapter, the supply concept starts with what section? Section 7 of CGST Act. So what happened to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Sir, section 1 is about title of, what is the title? CGST Act 2017. It applicable to whole of India. Came into force on 1st July 2017. That is section 1. Section 2 consists of definitions. So those definitions we're going to discuss. Like whenever needed, we'll be discussing those definitions. Section 3 is about officers under CGST Act. Who are officers, sir? Superintendent. Then Assistant Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, Additional Commissioner, Joint Commissioner, then there will be Commissioner, above Commissioner there will be whom? Principal Commissioner, there will be Chief Commissioner and Principal Chief Commissioner. Okay, PCC means what? Principal Chief Commissioner. CC, Chief Commissioner. PC, Principal Commissioner. Here it is like C. JC means Joint Commissioner. ADLC means Additional Commissioner. DC means Deputy Commissioner. AC means Assistant Commissioner. And here it is like what? Superintendent. Okay. These are the officers. And below them also there will be inspectors and all. Appointment of officers. Who will appoint these people? Board. Board means what? CBIC is called as board. CBIC is called board, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. That in short referred as always what? Board. So board means, don't think like exam board and all. Here board means what? CBIC. Okay. CBIC will appoint, or CBIC will authorize any officer to appoint these people. So those are the ones who will appoint the officers. Then section 5 is about powers of officers. What are the powers? Sir, there is no specific powers mentioned there in section 5. They said like in this act, wherever they have mentioned like these are the powers, those are the powers of officers. They didn't give a separate list. This is the power. Okay, he can carry a gun, he can stop a vehicle. So those kind of powers nowhere mentioned. So at different places of the act, which are mentioned as powers, those only called as the powers. Then authorization. What is authorization? Sir, when a case is taken for scrutiny, assessment is being done. CGST officer is doing, but he will do only assessment for CGST part, SGST part he will leave. No sir, when you do assessment, he will do for CGST as well as SGST part also. But he is a CGST officer. But still he can authorize the powers of SGST officer and can pass an order for both CGST as well as SGST. Same way SGST officer also. When he is doing a carrying out an assessment, he not only look after SGST part, he will even look after CGST part also. But CGST has to be taken care by CGST officer, SGST has to be taken care by SGST officer. This section 6 says like what? No worries. CGST officers powers can be authorized by SGST officer. SGST officers powers also can be authorized by CGST officers. So one person's power can be taken by another, and that person's power can be taken by this person. That authorization of powers is only called as what? Section 6. Okay. So these are the first 6 sections. Then we'll be going into our next chapter. So you may be thinking like, sir, we need to solve questions from first chapter. No question is needed, sir. You need not to read any question from first chapter. Okay, when you have time, just go through the workbook once. That's it. Because it's not exam relevant also to solve those questions. Okay, but now at this point of time, you go through the workbook once. Okay, mostly the same answers or same questions related will be there. Or sometimes they'll tell background also. That's what. Okay. So we are starting with supply chapter. Supply is a lengthy chapter, sir. But let me tell you the important topics also from supply. Related person versus distinct person. I mean, you need to learn the definition of related person and distinct persons. Then obviously good service also you should learn. Good service definition. Definitions wise, these are like, these 4 definitions are important. Then the basic supply concept, 7 subsection 1. You need to learn. It could be A, B, C. Supply under 7 subsection 1 plus schedule 1. Then 4th one is about schedule 3. Schedule 3 is about what? Negative list. And the 5th important one is like composite supply versus mixed supply. These are the 5 important areas. Registered person versus distinct person, good service, 7 subsection 1, clause A, clause B, clause C, along with schedule 1. Then schedule 3 is about negative list and composite supply versus mixed supply. These areas, if you are good, then the rest all the topics from supply chapter, even if you know, like let's say for MCQ purpose and all, mostly the 7 marks question may come from these areas only, but MCQ purpose, the other points also will be there. Very rarely they are going to clarifications also. There is lot many clarifications in supply chapter. Okay, we'll be discussing them quickly, but these are our areas of focus which require more attention, more clarity. Everybody following live, students? If you are not sleeping, just put hi in the comments. In the live chat, put hi. If nothing is coming from your side, means you are in deep sleep only. Only 3 people responded. The rest all. Four. It's okay, sir. In supply, we are starting with our first definition, goods. What is goods? Goods means every kind of movable property. Goods means every kind of movable property. If it is movable, then it is called as what? Goods. If it is movable, then that is called as what? Goods. So, okay, so in my table itself, there are some 10-20 items which are called as goods. So phone, tab, keyboard, remote, mic, water bottle, this table itself, the chair I am sitting, the clothes I am wearing, the cables, chargers, all these are what? Goods, because all these are mobile. This building, is it a good? Building, is it a good? Why? Immobile, simple logic. Okay, land, immobile, so it's not what? It's not a good. Sir, in returns chapter, the topics you have mentioned in Superthon is enough? Question mark. Okay. In returns chapter, the topics you mentioned in Superthon is enough? Yes, I think enough. Not 100% stamp guarantee and all, but reasonably I think they are enough. Goods means every kind of movable property. Goods means every kind of mobile property. If it is mobile, then it is called as what? Goods. Goods, again, has inclusions and exclusions. It excludes money and securities. Money is not a good. Securities. Securities means what? Shares, bonds, debentures. All those are also not goods. So goods means every kind of mobile property. It excludes money and securities. What is called money, sir? Cash, checks, DDs, promissory notes, bills of exchange. So not only just the legal tender, even the money equivalents, cash equivalents are also treated as what? Money only. What are called cash equivalents? These checks, DDs, promissory notes, bills of exchange, these are also called as money only. Okay, so good means every kind of movable property excludes money. Money means cash, checks, DDs, promissory notes, bills of exchange. Securities means what? Shares, bonds, debentures and derivatives. So these are excluded from the definition of goods. And goods includes actionable claims. Includes actionable claims. Sir, what are called actionable claims? Actionable claim means it's a right, not actually a good actually by its own, but it's just a piece of paper you have, but that paper gives you a right to claim money or some amount. Okay, that right it gives. That is called as what? Actionable claim. Example, lottery ticket. Sir, lottery ticket gives you a right, and that right also contingent. You may get lottery, you may not get lottery. So you have a right to ask someone to pay you 50 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs, such right when it is given on a paper or it's mentioned on an instrument, so that is called as what? Actionable claim. Such right shall be unsecured one. Such right should be unsecured one. So let's say, sir, Mandeep brought a lottery ticket. Okay. So on that number, he won 50 lakhs lottery. Now he went to claim the lottery, but that day only that fellow became insolvent. Okay. So his luck is, how much ever his luck trying to favor also, his bad luck is not leaving him. So that fellow became insolvent. Can he do anything now? Is it any security is having? No, sir, that is an unsecured one. So claim to debt you are having. You are having the right to claim an amount or a debt, but such right is unsecured. Then such kind of rights, when they are mentioned on an instrument, such instruments are called as what? Actionable claims. Okay. Bills of exchange, DD, promissory note, they will also come under actionable claim. But now you should get a doubt. Sir, here also checks DD are there. You are saying the money and they are excluded from the definition of good. You are in actionable claim also you are saying check DD, bills of exchange and calling them as actionable claim, which include in the goods definition. So one side I am saying checks are part of money, not goods. Another side I am saying checks are part of actionable claim and they are not, and they are goods only. So now final clarity, whether they are goods or not goods. So forget about whether they are goods or not. Ultimately they are not supply. Let's say if they are not goods, if you think them as money only, then that doesn't fit into the definition of goods and service itself. They are not a supply. Let's say if you think them as actionable claims, even if you think them as actionable claims, in the latter part of the chapter we'll discuss schedule 3. There we'll say all the actionable claims except specified are not supplies. So this check DD, even though they are actionable claims, afterwards we'll say again what? They are not supplies also. Okay, that's why it's not a debatable point. Even if you treat as money also, they are not going to be supply. Even if you treat as actionable claims also, they are not going to be supply. Okay, so good means what? Every kind of movable property, it excludes money and securities, includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to the land. Even though they are attached to the land, still they are called as goods. When they are agreed to be separated before making supply. By the time supply happens, if they are going to be separated, by the time supply happens, if they are going to be separated, then they are called as what? Goods. Understand, sir? Goods means what? Every kind of mobile property. It excludes money and securities, includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to the land which are agreed to be separated before making supply. That means, sir, usually if in any contract, the basic foundation level one, in a contract there will be how many considerations? Sir, let's say me providing service to you. What is the consideration to you? Subject, getting the subject knowledge is the consideration to you. What is the consideration to me? The fees you pay may be the consideration to me. Okay, so both sides having consideration now. Now, whether it is taxable both sides, GST leviable on both sides. Assume we both are registered persons only. Does GST leviable on both the sides? No, sir. Why? Because one side only good is there. The other side money is being there. On money we are not levying GST because money is neither good nor service. Only if it is a good or service we can levy GST. Understand, sir? Look at this example. Supplier sold laptop for 1 lakh. Okay, on this laptop value you are levying tax, not on the money he is paying. It may look like on money you are levying tax, but on money you are not levying. You are levying on what? Laptop. If the laptop value is 1 lakh, that's why on that 1 lakh you are levying GST, not on the other 1 lakh, the 1 lakh which is being paid by recipient. So this side laptop going, this side 1 lakh money is coming. Whether this laptop taxable or this 1 lakh is taxable laptop. So if on the laptop value you are levying GST, not on the money value. Okay, so okay, you may have still doubt, but look at this one. This supplier, no money involved. What he did, he paid he sold a laptop. Recipient, instead of giving 1 lakh money, what he did, he has given 3 mobiles. Now it becomes what? Barter system. In this case, 2 ways the consideration is not money. One side laptop, another side mobiles. So on this laptop also GST leviable, on this mobiles also GST leviable. Why? Because this is also good, this is also good. In this example, here it is not good, it is what? Money. So on money we cannot levy GST since money involved only laptop value taxed. But here on mobile value GST leviable, laptop also GST leviable. 2 ways it is being taxed. Then service. What is called service? Service means anything. Anything you can call it as service. No boundary at all for service except good, money, security. If it is not a good, not money, not security, then anything is called as what? Service. There is no boundary at all. Anything can be called as service if it is not good, not money, not security. So this building, is it a good? This building, is it a good? Why? Good. To call it as good, it should be what? Mobile. Is it a service? This building, is it a service? Yes, sir. Why? Because there is no restriction here. Anything can be called as service other than good, money, security. This building, is it a good? Is it money? Is it security? And then fine, it is what? Service only. Anything if it is not good, money, security. Sir, my belief system cannot accept this. Who is bothered about your belief system? If follow the definition. Okay? Is it good? No. Is it money? No. Is it security? No. Then obviously it is what? Service only, because service means anything other than good, money and security. Okay, na? So Mandeep is a contract killer. Okay, just like as Mahesh Babu in Atlu movie, he took 2 crores to kill a particular, he's a professional shooter. To shoot a guy who he took 2 crore rupees as money. Is it a good service? Yes. Anything other than good, money, security. Okay, for shooting service he is doing then. Service means anything other than good, money and security. Sir, understand. Immobile properties like land, sale of land, is it a good? Is it a service? Why? Because it is not a good, not money, not security. So sale of land will come under service. Sale of building will come under service. So that means sale of land also GST leviable. That is secondary. That we'll discuss afterwards. But first thing to understand is what? Sale of building, sale of land is also a service as per the definition. Okay. So service means anything other than goods, money and securities. Okay. Sir, money is not good, right? Money is not service also, right? But what you do is, you convert money in one form to another. One form to another. That means you have cash. You converted this money cash into check or DD. To convert this, let's say DD, okay, you have cash. To convert into bank DD, bank will take certain commission. Okay, for conversion of money in one form to another, if any separate consideration is charged, that separate consideration is called as what? Service. Let's say you have 10 lakhs, but this 10 lakhs you want to convert into demand draft. For converting this 10 lakhs cash into DD, bank took 1000 rupees as commission. The 1000 rupees is what? Service. Understand? Converting one currency to another currency. You have 1 crore Indian money. You want to convert into dollars. Okay, for converting into dollars, again bank will take certain exchange commission. Let's say for converting this 1 crore into dollars, bank took 50,000 rupees as commission. Then that 50,000 rupees is what? Service only. Okay, you are converting money in one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another, but for which if a separate consideration is charged, then to the extent of such separate consideration, it is called service. Only when there is separate consideration. Sir, understand? I gave a loan. So that means what I given? Money only, right? I gave money. If he is repaying, what he will give me? Money only. Okay, sir, I gave 5 lakhs as loan. After 2 years, if you repay just 5 lakhs, I'll be okay now. What I'll ask extra? Interest. So interest is a separate consideration charge. Okay, so for interest element we call it as what? Service. Sir, I gave loan money only. You are repaying that also money only. No good involved. But still, whether you are repaying the same 5 lakhs or extra amount you are paying, extra amount. That extra amount is what? The separate consideration you are being paid for use in money or conversion in money. For using the money, you are paying me a separate consideration of how much? Interest. Let's say 2 lakhs. Then to the extent of interest, it is called as service. So loan is not a supply. Interest element is a supply. Understand, sir? Service means anything other than good, money and securities. It includes use of money or conversion of money from one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another, for which a separate, okay, the sentence missing. For which a separate consideration involved then to the extent of such separate consideration it is service. Then to the extent of such separate consideration, it is what? Service. Service means anything other than goods, money, securities, includes use of money or conversion from one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another, for which, for that conversion and use, a separate consideration involved. So, sir, 1 crore Indian rupees converted into dollars. Are we calling 1 crore as supply or 1 crore as service? No. Whatever is the separate consideration charged for that conversion, that element only we are calling as service. Then the same ways, securities also. Buying and selling shares is not good nor service, but facilitating a transaction securities. Sir, can you buy and sell shares on your own? Listed company, Reliance shares, can you buy on your own? Can you sell on your own? Then whose help is needed? Can we sell and buy the shares on our own without anyone's involvement of a listed company share? Can we buy listed company shares and can we sell listed company shares without any person's involvement? Then who has to be involved? Stockbroker. So without a stockbroker, you cannot buy and you cannot sell. Okay, some person may be saying, sir, I have a demat account, sir. I never contact any person. I am selling. Then the demat account is acting as your, okay, Zerodha, or else like you might be using what, Upstocks, might be using angel broking. All these people are acting as what? Your stockbrokers only. Okay, but since it is happening online, you are not knowing that they are acting as stockbroker. Once you open the account with them, defaultly they are your stockbrokers. They'll take certain percentage as commission. Okay, so the buying and selling shares is not good, not service. But the commission they take this brokers, to the extent of that commission, it is what? Service. Service includes facilitating or arranging a transaction in securities. Nothing but commission received by stockbroker is a service. So, okay, once again, sir, service definition. Service means what? Anything other than goods, money and securities. It includes use of money or conversion of money from one form to another, one currency to another, one denomination to another, for which a separate consideration is involved. Then to the extent of such separate consideration, it is called what? Service. Service even includes facilitating or arranging a transaction in securities. Commission received by a stockbroker is also a service. Then exemption with respect to interest or discount. Interest on loans and advances. Sir, first the interest element, is it a service or not? Yes, it is a service, but interest is what? Exempted. Interest part is exempted from GST. Interest exempted. Any discount on bills discounted is also exempted. Interest, late payment charges on credit card also exempted. But whereas banks will levy to give loan, processing fee, documentation charges. These are taxable only. Which are exempted? Interest discount elements are exempted. Then taxability of transactions in securities. So okay, securities could be even forward contracts and futures. What is this one? Let me say you. So you already completed this one, right? SFM, derivatives. So you know what is called forward contract then. Tell. Futures center? Sir, today who is here? Today. So, Mandeep marriage is fixed on exactly after 1 year, 7th April 2027 is his marriage. That time he want gold. Okay, but he is worried of increase in gold prices by 7th April 2027. So he went to a person. This person is Bharadwaj. He has so much of gold. Okay, so now Bharadwaj is worried about a decrease in gold prices after 1 year. So now what? Mandeep entered into a transaction with Bharadwaj. What? He will buy gold, not now. When? After 1 year, on 7th April 2027, gold will be purchased. At what price? Let's say 10 grams at a rate of 1,50,000, he said. 10 grams at 1,50,000 is the price. Current market price, future price, this is future. Exactly on 1 year, 7th April 2027, for 10 grams, Mandeep will pay 1,50,000 and take the gold. Okay. Now, when it comes to 7th April, there is no certainty that exactly the price become 1,50,000 only. It may be 1,30,000. It may be 1,70,000. Sir, it came to 1,30,000. Then who is losing? Mandeep is losing, because 1,30,000 gold he has to buy at what? 1,50,000. So 20,000 he is having loss. Whereas if it became 1,70,000, then Bharadwaj is having loss, because he is bound to sell at 1,50,000 only, where the price is actually 1,70,000. Okay. Now, on 7th April 2027, if the transaction finally concludes, like what? Mandeep paid 1,50,000, and if Bharadwaj given gold, then this is a contract with settlement of underlying asset. Underlying asset is what here? Gold. The contract settled with the delivery of underlying asset. So this is a supply. Why it is a supply? Because gold is a good only, right? The good is being transacted now, so it comes under what? Supply only. Why? Because it is not a security. It is not a security. It's just a price contract. The forward price contract. There is no security involved here. Okay, just it's a forward agreement to sell at a fixed price. So here it has to be treated as what? Good only. But let's say Mandeep also don't need good. He just traded here for what? His expectation is like gold prices will increase. He don't want real gold. So what he said to Bharadwaj? Okay, let's say in two cases. In first case, if the gold price came to 1,30,000, then who is in loss? Mandeep. So he'll pay 20,000 to Bharadwaj, closed. So he's just settling the difference amounts. Or else, if it became 1,70,000, then Bharadwaj pays 20,000 to Mandeep, then close. Okay. So if whether the underlying asset, underlying commodity is being delivered or just the margin settlement happening. Okay, two cases. It may happen as the underlying asset delivery, or it may be margin settlement also. If it is margin settlement, then it comes under security. It is not a supply. When it is margin settlement, they are not actually giving the underlying commodity gold, silver and all. Just the difference amounts they are paying and cancelling the or setting off the contract. Then it comes under security, not a supply. But when it involves delivery of underlying commodity, then it comes under good and it is a supply. Okay. So sale of secured debt, interest rate swaps, foreign exchange swaps, all these will come under securities. They are not goods, they are not services. So now we are moving on to the definition of related person. Related person means first, they are members of same family. Family means, Bharadwaj, who will be included? Family? Huh? The first parents is there, are there? What is there first? First you should tell what? Spouse only. Spouses. Oh. Okay, first family means what? Spouse, children. Okay, this will come under what? Micro family. Family means spouse, children. It will come under what? Micro family. Sir, micro family na, this part of the family, whether they are dependent or independent, still they are part of family. Spouse may be dependent or independent. Children may be dependent or independent. Still they are part of what? Family. But whereas parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, they are part of family only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters, they are wholly or mainly when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Okay, na? Mandeep is having a doubt. Sir, we are not married, sir, but still we are life partners. Do we be considered as related persons? Okay, as of now, the law didn't evolve so much, Mandeep. Okay, only if they had a marriage, then they are called as family. Okay, na? Sir, marriage only not happened, sir, but still our souls are connected. We are like, all that if you say also, still they are not part of your family. Okay, na? Don't say like, sir, if I have marriage happened, sir. It's okay. Related person, members of same family, spouse, children, parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents. But these three, parents, brothers and sisters, grandparents, are part of family only when they are wholly or mainly dependent. Then, such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Sir, A has a company called A Private Limited. B also owns a company called B Private Limited. Interestingly, in B Private Limited, A is a director. In A Private Limited, B is a director. So what is happening? They are acting as officers or directors of one another's business. So then they are called as what? Related persons. Such persons are legally recognized partners. So what does it mean by legally recognized partners? Such persons are legally recognized partners. What does it mean by legally recognized partners? Deed must be executed. Only for a partnership when the deed is executed, then they are called as what? Legally partners. That's why the point they are saying is what? Such persons are legally recognized. Partnership or LLP deed should have been executed. Then they are called as legally recognized partners. Then any such persons are employer and employee. If they are employer and employee, then they are what again? Related persons. Then any person controls, owns or holds directly or indirectly more than or equal to 25% voting power. If it is more than or equal to 25% voting power, then also they are called as what? Related persons. A person directly or indirectly controls the other. So you may ask like, sir, for controlling 51% is needed, na sir. Already 25% point is set. So how can again this point will come? Sir, understand, even without 25% voting power also sometimes you can control. Okay, sir, let's say I am a promoter of a company. Okay, trusting me, believing me, you all came and invested. You don't know each other. You all came and invested trusting me only. Okay, so but I have only 10% share. Okay, the rest all 90% owned by you only. But you all came and invested trusting me. Okay, na? So then what? I can influence or I can control all of you even though my share is how much? 10% only. How can, sir? Sir, if I simply say like I can go, what you will do? You don't know how to do business. Understanding? You don't know how to do business and you don't know each other. You all came and invested trusting me. So that means even though my share is with less than 25%, less than 50%, still I am exercising control. Then me and the company are called as what? Related person only, even though my share is with less than 25% voting power. Then a third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. A third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. Okay. Mandeep owns shareholding in B Limited as well as C Limited. He has share in B Limited as well as C Limited. Obviously, Mandeep and B Limited are related only. Mandeep and C are also related only. Not only these. Now both B and C are also related person. If the same person controls two, okay, now both those two people are also called as what? Related persons. He's remembering intlo illalu, vantinట్లో ప్రియురాలు. What's that movie? పక్కింట్లో పెడతాడు. The question is not about vantillu or pakkillu. The question is about both those two are also related persons. But was sick birth no. Such person together controls a third person. Joint ventures. A, B together controls C. Then they are also called as what? Related person. C. Members of same family. Such persons are officers or directors of one another's business. Such persons are legally recognized partners. Such persons are employer and employee. Or any person controls, owns, holds more than or equal to 25% voting power. A person directly or indirectly controls the other. A third person directly or indirectly controls both of them. Such person together controls a third person. Explanation. Here, when a person is acting as a sole agent or distributor of others, sole agent or distributor of other, then also they are called as what? Related persons. Sir, I manufacture a product. All the products I manufactured are sold by one person only. Now that person and me are obviously related. Why? Suddenly if that fellow says like, no, I will not sell your products, I don't know what to do. Because all my products are sold by that person only. Okay? So when a person is acting as my sole agent, sole distributor, then me and that person are also called as what? Related persons. So this is the definition of what? Total related persons. Such persons are members of the family, officers and directors of one another's business, legally recognized partners, employer and employee, more than or equal to 25% voting power directly or indirectly, or one person controls other. Next, seventh one, when a person controls one entity and even another entity, then both these two entities which are commonly controlled by a same person, then these two are also called as related persons. Last one, when two persons together control a third person, then the third person and these three are all called as what? Related persons. Last one, when a person is acting as a sole agent or distributor of other, then also is called as what? Related person. Now distinct person. Sir, first understand GST requirement, sir, to know about distinct persons. Under GST, let's say Sir Manjunath is having a branch in Assam, a branch in Karnataka, a branch in Andhra Pradesh. So wherever you go, he keeps a branch. Okay, he's having three branches like Assam, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Now his question is, sir, in first chapter you said like GST, one nation, one tax, na? So one registration enough for all these three. Okay, so what the GST procedure says means under registration, when you are doing taxable supplies from more than one state, then each of such state you should go for registration separately. So in Assam you should register separately, in Karnataka you should register separately, and even in Andhra Pradesh also you should register separately. Okay, so that means how many GSTN numbers he is having now? 3 GSTN numbers are there. Technically he has 3 GSTN numbers, but he is 3 persons. Only one person only has only one particular PAN number only. But what the provision says means, when a person with the same PAN is having multiple GST registrations, then each of such registration has to be treated as a distinct person. Okay, he has to be seen as like 3 different persons. Okay, for Andhra Pradesh branch, separate person. Karnataka, separate person. And for Assam, separate person. Okay, he has to be treated as a distinct person. Then only 3 branches can run. Otherwise they will collapse. Okay, distinct person means what, sir? A person is required to obtain more than one registration in a state. Why? Okay, more than one registration. A person is required to obtain registration in more than one state. Sir, here is what? He is doing taxable supplies from more than one state. Then what is the rule says? In every state he is doing taxable supplies, has to register separately. Sir, okay, Mandeep sir, he is having more dare. He is not like different states also, same states. In Telangana only, Warangal one branch, Hyderabad another branch. Okay, now one registration is enough. Okay, a person, sir, that is optional, sir. Within the state, now it is like optional. He can go for multiple registrations or can continue with a single registration. A person who is required to obtain more than one registration, but this is voluntary. Okay, so but because of any reason, simple logic, sir, you have more than one registration, then each of such registration has to be treated as a distinct person. Then next one, where a person has obtained registration in one state with respect of an establishment, and such person has another establishment in a state. Sir, why establishment? See, look at this example, sir. Rakesh is having, in Tamil Nadu, he is having a petrol station. Sir, petroleum products, taxable or non-taxable? Non-taxable. Since he is not making taxable supplies, he is exempted from registration. As per section 23, he is exempted from registration. So this petrol station is not a registered place. That's why we call it as what? Establishment. An establishment which is unregistered. And he is having in AP petrol station plus automobile spares also he will sell there. Not only petrol he will sell, he will even sell automobile spares also. Okay, so here he is supplying both taxable and as well as non-taxable. When he is supplying both, then he has to get registered. So has to get registered. Now same person only, sir. In one state, a establishment is unregistered. In another state, there is an establishment which is registered. Still these two also has to be treated as what? Establishments of distinct persons only. Okay, look at the point now. Where a person has obtained registration in one state in respect of an establishment, AP, petrol station plus automobiles, registered. Such person has an establishment in another state which is not required to register. So in Tamil Nadu, petrol station is not required to register. Then both these are treated as what? Establishments of distinct persons. Establishment of distinct persons. Then consideration, sir. Consideration means any payment made or agreed to be made. Already paid or made a promise that he'll pay after 1 month, 2 months and all. So consideration need not to be always cash payment. Consideration could be the amount paid or agreed to be paid also. It could be in money or even otherwise. Any amount paid or agreed to be paid. Instantly paid, or he said like after 4 months I'll pay, 5 months I'll pay. That agreed amount is also called as consideration. It could be paid in money or even otherwise. Otherwise means what? Non-monetary form also it can be paid. The amount is paid with respect to what? Supply of goods, services or both. It could be paid by recipient or by any other person. Sir, you are taking service from BCCA, sir. There is no compulsion that only you have to pay fees. On behalf of you, your parents can pay, your relatives can pay, or someone else also can pay, no issues. Okay? So that's why the consideration may be by recipient or by any other person, but shall not include any subsidies given by central and state government. So consideration means amount paid, agreed to be paid. It could be money or otherwise. In relation to what? Supply of goods, services or both. Okay? Whether by recipient or by any other person, but shall not include subsidies given by central and state governments. Look at the example, sir. Telangana government has tied up with HP laptops and asked them to what? To sell a laptop at 10,000 rupees only to these government school students. So this student paid only 10,000. Sir, if they sell at 10,000, it's a loss to the company, right? So what government said? We will pay 20,000. Collect 10,000 only from the student and sell the laptop. If government is paying like this, then that is called as what? Subsidy. So such subsidy shall not include in the consideration. So if we exclude 20,000, then what is the consideration? 10,000 is only the consideration. Okay. Then the last one, sir, in the consideration. Any monetary value of any act or forbearance to act is also called as what? Consideration. For not doing an act, if any amount is paid, that is also called as consideration. Okay. So Bhavya has been selected as a heroine by Rajmouli. Okay. Against Mahesh Babu. So Priyanka Chopra has been replaced with her. Bhavya. Okay. And then, so maybe let's say then villain role. You watched Anaganaga Oka Raj, Anaganaga Oka Dhiridu movie is there. In that Irendri character will be there, if you remember. Manchi Lakshmi. You don't know? I'll show after break. Okay, in break also you'll search in Google, YouTube, Irendri. Okay, Shivagami. Oh, aged character. Devasena. Bahubali 1 Devasena character. That also you don't like. Then Avantika character fine. Tamanna. That also you don't like. I said heroine character. You said no. Huh? See. Okay. See. Okay, she has been selected for a movie. Now Rajmouli, you know, he'll take movie minimum for how many years? Minimum 3 years. Now 3 years, if she go for some other movies, then there's a problem, like the shootings and all cannot be adjusted. So her remuneration is actually 1 crore. That is for the performance she is going to do in the movie, she is getting 1 crore. Then extra they even said like, we'll pay another 1 crore as consideration. She should not act in any movie until this movie get released. Okay, for not performing an act, not doing an act, if any extra amount is paid, that is also called as what? Consideration only. For forbiddance to act. Sir, she has the right to act in any number of movies until her schedule didn't clashes. But what they are asking her, the whole 3 years has to be allocated to us only. Okay, you should not act in any other movie except in this particular movie. So for that, normally for acting in movie they are paying 1 crore. That is consideration only. Now extra another 1 crore is paying for what? For not acting in any other film. So that is called as what? Forbiddance to act. Then that comes under what? Consideration. So now in between Mandeep came and said like, you don't act even in Rajmouli movie also. We wanted to safeguard the public and producers. So I'll pay 5 crores. You don't act in any movies. Then that also comes under what? Forbiddance to act. Okay. So the monetary value of any act or forbearance to act is also called as what? Consideration. Okay. It's okay, sir. We'll take a break. Post break again, we'll continue. So, okay, good morning all. So, to continue with our discussion, works contract. What is works contract? Works contract means it's a contract related to immovable property. Works contract means it's a contract related to immovable property, and it should involve both supply of goods and services. Works contract means it's a contract related to immovable property, and it involves supply of both good and services like construction, repairs, alteration, modification. All these, any of this has been done to a immovable property. When you are doing construction and you are supplying service and good, works contract. You are doing a repair activity to an immovable property, supplying both good and service, then also it is a works contract. Then taxable person. Who is called taxable person? A person who is registered under GST. If you are already registered under GST, you are a taxable person. You didn't register, but you have the liability to register. Taxable person means a person who is registered or who has the liability to register. Both are called as what? Taxable persons only. Then principal. Principal means a person on whose behalf agent supplies or receives goods, services, or both. Agent means a person on whose behalf agent receives or supplies goods, services. Principal means a person on whose behalf agent supplies, receives goods, services, or both. Sir, if on behalf of me, if someone else supplies goods or receives goods, or supplies service, receives service, okay, then I am called as what? Principal. Now, who is called agent? Agent means a person, including, he may be called as broker, auctioneer, delegatory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent. Out of all these, whatever the name he is called, if he is acting on behalf of some other person, either to supply good services or to receive good services, he is acting on behalf of some other person, then he is called what? Agent. Agent means a person, including broker, auctioneer, delegatory agent, commission agent, mercantile agent, by whatever the name called. If he is acting on behalf of some other person to supply goods or receive goods, services, or both, then he is called as what? Agent. Then online money gaming. Online money gaming means nothing but it's an online game where the player pays or deposit money or virtual assets. Virtual assets, he can even deposit instead of money crypto or any other cashback reward points. So by using them, he is paying a game with an expectation of winning any game or scheme, whether it may be related to skill or chance, but still it is called as what? Online money gaming. Then business, sir. What is called business? Business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other similar activity, whether or not for a monetary benefit. So trade, buying and selling. Commerce also means buying and selling only. In large scale, commerce. In a smaller scale, we call it as trade. Trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion. Profession and occasion, what is the difference, sir? Sir, CA, CMA, doctor, engineer, these are professions. Occasion means they don't have a recognized degree, like carpenters, plumbers, artists, like who do paintings and all artists. So they'll come under what? Occasion. Then adventure. Adventure means what? Doing something risky. Not your zone, but doing something risky. Okay, something like what? Sir, I am a chartered accountant. So usually what is expected from me? I may do those tax planning, tax consultancy can be there. Classes is also fine, not an adventure kind of. But I do something not relevant to me. Okay, something not relevant to me. If I started doing painting, then it may be an adventure. Okay, or else if I start doing like an engineer, I'm doing the designs and all, then it's an adventure. Or if I do, like if I start a hospital and I'm running a hospital, then it comes under what? Adventure. So not related to my field. Something different I am doing, then it comes as what? Adventure. Wager. Wager means this betting related and all. So business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit. Whether or not for a monetary benefit. There may be a monetary benefit, may not be a monetary benefit, but still trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit, it comes under what? Business. And even transactions which are incidental to above. What does it mean by incidental to above? Understand, sir? Transactions incidental to above. See, a person is running a grocery store. So usually grocery stores, they'll sell groceries. But to compete with this quick commerce, what is quick commerce? Quick commerce, this Zepto, okay, Zepto, Blinkit, these are called as quick commerce. Like you order within 30 minutes, you'll have the goods. 30-40 minutes. So those are called as what? Quick commerce. Nowadays, the main competition for this grocery store is what? Those people only. Because the people are, the customers are used to what? Instead of going to the shop and again getting the goods and all, so they're just making an order from their house itself. So now, these local grocery stores also, to compete with them, they also started, example sir, if they also started delivering the goods, how? You just make a call or you just put a message in the WhatsApp to them, so they will pack everything and deliver it to your place. To compete, to survive, then again, they have to do that only. So now, grocery store, what is their main thing? Selling groceries. But incidentally, they are doing even what? Delivery also. Okay? So that delivery thing is called as what? Incidental thing. But delivery, they may charge delivery charges. But delivery is not their main thing. It's what? Incidental. So business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other activity of similar nature, whether or not for a monetary benefit. Transactions incidental to above also included, irrespective of volume, continuity, frequency. Then, clubs, associations, societies, providing facilities to members. Sir, here, let's say this is a gated community. It's a gated community where there are multiple blocks of apartments are there. So now, total how many, sir? 1,000 flats are there. It's a gated community. Now what happens? For this community, there is an association. And for that association, there will be a president, there will be a vice president, all this will be there. Now what happened? Association collecting money from members as membership fee and providing services. What kind of services? Like providing lift, power backup, not breakup, sir, it is power backup. Power backup, security, water, these are the services which are being provided by an AOP to its members. So, for that gated community or for that particular colony or for that particular area, there is a association, society and all has been formed. Now what is happening? To this society or to this AOP, members are paying membership fee. Then AOP has to do what? These common services like lift, common area maintenance, security, power backup, water. Okay, so these kind of services are being provided by members to AOP. It's okay. Then those services are also called as what? Business. Where any club, association or societies providing facilities to members, that is also called as business. And then admission of a person into premises for a consideration. They'll allow you into premises only when you pay an amount, like movie theaters, museums, zoo park. Okay, to those places you need to buy an entry ticket, then only they'll allow you inside. So those things are also called as what? Business. Then activities of race club by a totalizer, nothing but the one who organizes the race. That is also called as what? Organizing a race or organizing any bet or organizing any event. That also comes under what? Business. Then transactions undertaken by government. Even government issuing birth certificate, death certificate, licenses, for that also we need to pay some fees, right? So that activity is also called as what? Business. So business means any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, occasion, adventure, wager, or any other similar activity, whether or not for a monetary benefit. Then business means clubs, associations, societies providing to their members admission of persons into premises for a consideration, and then activities of a race club by way of totalizer and transactions undertaken by government in which they are engaged as public authorities. Now look at this concept, sir. Section 7, supply. So supply 7 subsection 1, 7 subsection 1a, 7 subsection 2. Like this under 7, there are 3 subsections. Within the subsection again there will be clauses. But first, what is the role of 7 subsection 1? By understanding whole 7 subsection 1, you will identify what is called supply under different cases. In general, what is called supply. In exceptional cases also, what can be called as supply. The whole what can be called as supply is explained under 7 subsection 1. Okay, first step. If you decided something as supply, then you will go to 7 subsection 1a. Yes, it is a supply only. But 7 subsection 1a helps in deciding whether it is supply of good or supply of service. 7 helps us in deciding whether a transaction is supply or not. 7(1)(a) helps us in deciding whether such supply is supply of good or supply of service. Then 7 subsection 2. 7 subsection 2 consists of a list of transactions. These transactions might have satisfied 7(1), 7 subsection 1a, but still if such a transaction is mentioned in negative list, it is not a supply. There are certain negative list of transactions which cannot be called as supply. Okay, if any transaction it fits into 7(1), it may be categorized as good or service, but still it is not a supply if such a transaction is covered under negative list. There are total 13 points are there currently under the negative list. If those 13 transactions, okay, for those 13 transactions it is not a supply. Understand, sir? Rest all, how do we decide as supply? First it should satisfy 7 subsection 1. Then it is supply only. We will go to 7 subsection 1a and decide whether it is supply of good or supply of service. Sir, even though you decided 2 steps, if it is mentioned in negative list, that is not a supply. All the essentials might be there. It has all the ingredients to call it as supply. But still, if it is mentioned in negative list, that is not a supply. Understand, sir? So 7 subsection 1 clause A. 7 subsection 1 clause A. Here they are explaining what supply. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Supply includes what? Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Sale means you know. What is called transfer? So transfer also has the same meaning that of sale only. There is no difference at all. Then why different word is given? Previously in VAT Acts, before GST VAT is there, na? And VAT is to be different from one state to another. In some states they use the word transfer. Instead of sale they use the word transfer. Now when they introduce GST, they don't want to bring much more confusion and all. So that's why they brought even both. You may refer it as sale, you may refer it as transfer. Still it is called as what? Supply only. Sale, transfer. Barter means what? What is called barter? Barter means what? Exchange of goods only is called as what? Barter. Let's say you have rice, you give rice and you are taking wheat. Barter kind of system. Barter means exchange of goods and services. A chartered accountant is providing accounting services to hospital. Hospital is providing medical services to him and his family. Then both are like what? Barter kind of transactions only. Okay. So barter means no money will be there. Okay, I give you something, for that he will give you the another thing which may act as like equivalent or same kind of consideration. So supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rent, disposal. Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rent, disposal. Okay. Here exchange means what then? Sir, barter, exchange of goods and services. Then what is called exchange? What is the difference between barter and exchange? What is the difference between barter and exchange? You do right. There are so many exchange transactions you will be entering into. So tell where you will see exchange transactions. At least in general, where you find these exchanges will happen. In any case, sir, in day to day, in general, where or in which scenarios exchange will happen? Exchange of phone. So you have old mobile, you exchange it and purchased a new mobile. But just if you give old mobile, will they give new mobile? You need to pay extra money also. So in barter, no such money is involved. Okay, the good which you given will be exactly consideration for the good they have given. Okay, sir, if I given rice or paddy and that fellow is giving me wheat, both acts like exact consideration, no money is involved, then it is what? Barter. But in exchange, you given your old car or old mobile, will they give the new car, new mobile? No, right? Extra money also involved. So here also exchange only, but not just the good. Along with the good, even money also involved. Then we call it as what? Exchange. In barter, no consideration itself. Okay, everything will be the good or service you exchange will become exact and equivalent consideration for the other thing. Yes, Raghava, what you said is correct. Sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license. Okay, now license means what? Driving license. Huh? So here in this sense, what could be called as license? Sir, I watched KGF movie, sir, yesterday night. I also inspired with Ash. Okay, Rocky Bhai also inspired. Now I also planning to buy a JCB and want to go to some place and start mining. Okay, can I do? Even Rocky itself they didn't allow. Okay, Prime Minister said like I am enforcing army. Okay, for me not even army also required. It's okay, so why? Can I do on it my own? So why they are stopping? Because I don't have a license. Okay, I have seen somewhere, sir, in Instagram only, near Mumbai or somewhere. Okay, they constructed toll. On a road, they constructed toll. Actually, there are two routes. If one route, if you go, the toll will be 150. It's okay, so this alternate route, actually it's a closed factory. Okay, but through that there is a route. Now what these people did, they laid a road for some 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers and constructed and made it as a route. And there they kept a toll. So that route now 150, same distance only. You can go this way or that way. That route if you go, you have 150 toll. Here they kept only 50 rupees. Now the whole traffic is going which way? This way they are going. Okay. How they identified this fraud now? After 2-3 years, the toll operator, the other side toll operator noticed that their revenues are falling. Then he is thinking like what happened, why our revenues are falling. Then he identified that there is another toll and all. So can we operate same way toll? Okay, in front of our house or in front of our college, like can we start our own toll? What do you need? License. It's okay. So license means to operate a toll, to do mining, to start a telecommunication service. For that we need licenses. To start a liquor shop also, license. Okay. So to get such license, the amount you pay is also called as what? Supply. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license. Now, lease, rent. What is the difference? Lease and rent. What is the difference between these two? Lease means long term. Rent means short term. Baka? Actually, definition wise, that is only correct, sir. But we'll use interchangeably. For long term also we use rent. For short term also we'll use lease. But actual standardly is what? Lease is comparatively longer term. Rent is short term. Okay. And the last one, disposal. In disposal means same. You are selling goods only. But what? You wanted to close the business. That's why you are selling the whole stock at a time. Then that comes under disposal. Or your assets also you are selling. Sir, BCCA, what it will sell usually? Classes, service only it sells, right? If it is selling benches, it comes under disposal. Why it has to sell benches? It won't sell, right? So only okay, when they are like not usable, as a scrap they are selling, then it comes under what? Disposal. Understand, sir? So any of your assets you are selling, then it comes, not the normal stock. If you normally selling your stock, raw material and all, then it comes under what? Sale. But any of your assets you are selling, then it comes under what? Disposal. Even that disposal is also what? Supply. A plant and machinery is sold. Disposal. Understand, sir? Or something has been sold as scrap. That also comes under what? Disposal. So supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Okay. Sir, roadside there is a small Pani Puri guy is there. He's selling, right, Pani Puri. He's selling what? Pani Puri. Is it a supply? There is a roadside Pani Puri guy is there. He's selling Pani Puri, plate 20 rupees. Is it supply? Beside him, there is another guy who is selling soda. Glass of soda is like 20 rupees. Is it supply? Sale happening now. So what is missing there? He is not a taxable person. The one who is supplying should be a taxable person. Okay, in your school also you have seen. Okay, there might be a student like Mandeep who might have brought a pen, pencil. It's okay, that pencils with backside erasers and all. He'll tell all the stories in school saying like, this was brought by my uncle who is in Dubai, who is in Japan, he'll say. And he'll say like, this is like 500 rupees pencil. Okay, he might have got somewhere like for 20-30 rupees only, but tell whole school that it was brought from Japan, it was brought from China, some story he'll say. Okay, and then that pencil he brought for 20 rupees, sold to some innocent friend like Bharatwaj for 200 rupees. Sold to Bhavya for 200 rupees. Okay. Now what happened? See, is that a supply? Sale happened, but what is missing? Taxable person is missing. So the one who is making a sale should be a taxable person. Consideration is there, sir. He sold for 200 rupees only. Consideration is there. Sale is there. But what is missing? Taxable person. By a taxable person. And it should be good, service or both. What you are selling should be a good, service or both. And it should be in the course or furtherance of business. Sir, you are a registered person only. But you are selling an old washing machine from your house. Just because you are a registered person, you sold your washing machine in your house which is not usable. For some 2,000, 3,000, scrap sale you made. Will it comes under supply? No, sir. Why? Because selling washing machines is not your business. Or that washing machine is nowhere connected to your business. That's your personal asset. So, selling those personal things does not amount to supply. Okay? Let's say, in our office, old AC is there, which is not working. That you sold for 2,000. That amounts to supply only. Understand, sir? It should be connected to business. The good or service should be somewhere connected to business. Then only it can be called as what? supply. So the basic supply under 7 subsection 1 clause A. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Who has to do this? Taxable person. For what? Consideration. And they should be goods, services, or both in the course or furtherance of business. 5 points, sir. First one, sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. Any of these things. Second one, by a taxable person for a consideration. And they should be goods, services, or both. And then in the course or furtherance of business. Any transaction you take, the most regularly that ongoing transactions, any transaction you take, it fits into this. You are traveling on a bus, taking a ticket. Okay, it fits into this definition. Sale of ticket, RTC, taxable person, consideration. Free bus na, then not a supply. In Telangana and AP, for women there is a free bus service. Okay, that free bus service na, then it is not a supply. Why? Consideration is missing. So okay, normally if a ticket is there, then sale of ticket is there. What they are doing, I mean, sold by RTC, taxable person. Consideration, yes, you pay 10 rupees, 20 rupees, something. In relation to service, transportation of passenger is a service. Fifth one, in the course or furtherance of business. What is the business of RTC, sir? Transportation only. So it fits into the definition of supply. You went to a restaurant, it fits. You took classes from BCCA, it fits. Okay, so any transaction, the most general transactions which you see day to day will fit into this definition. You name anything, it fits. Sale, supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal, carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services, or both in the course or furtherance of business. Pani Puri guy selling Pani Puri, roadside. So why it is not a supply? Because he is not a taxable person. Let's say he became famous. Every day he do 1 lakh turnover. Then obviously he has to register. He became taxable person. So it will become what? Supply. Understanding, sir? It's okay. He should be what? Taxable person. A grocery store, a garment store, any company selling goods will come under what? The usual. The day-to-day transactions, all you see. BCCA, selling what? Classes. Abhishek Kumar, then also it is supply only. Your business is not selling ACs, but still what you are selling is a business related asset. From your office you are selling old AC. You are a tax consultant. Your business is not selling air conditioners, but still the asset you sold is what? Business related asset only. That's why it comes under what? Disposal. Disposal, and it is a supply. So supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal, carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services, or both in the course or furtherance of. Now, 7 subsection 1 clause A. Sir, to introduce this section, actually there is a background. If you don't understand the background, then you think this section itself is meaningless, pointless. Why they have kept this section unnecessarily? See, there is something called principle of mutuality. Principle of mutuality means, in certain cases, usually firm is different, partners are different. But in some cases, firm and partners are treated as one and the same. When firm is having losses, for that loss, partners are jointly and severally responsible. Then what we are thinking, like firm and partners as same only. Otherwise partner may simply say like, I am responsible only for my share na. But we are saying like what? You are jointly and severally responsible for the total loss. That means he is having what? no principle of mutuality. We are treating like firm and partners as same. Okay, sometimes even in company also, lifting of corporate will. If that happens, we are treating like what? The owner, shareholder and company as same. Okay, and sometimes even AOP and members are also treated as one and the same. That's called principle of mutuality. If you apply principle of mutuality also into GST, firm sells anything to partner, then it is not a supply. Why? Because firm, partner we are treating as one and the same, then it won't be supply. Same way, where AOP is supplying anything to members, AOP is selling any goods, services to members, if you apply principle of mutuality, AOP and members are same, then it won't be a supply. Understand, sir? So now this point has been raised by a high court and said like AOP selling certain goods to members. AOP selling certain goods to members and members are paying. Okay. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. See, understand, sir, what is principle of mutuality means? AOP, it members, instead of treating them as different persons, if we consider them as like same, one person only, then it comes as what? Principle of mutuality. It comes as like what? Principle of mutuality. So what does principle of mutuality says? See, okay, if principle of mutuality is taken, what happens? AOP, if you remember the business definition, when AOP collecting membership fee from members and providing the common services like power backup, lift services, security services, all this will not be supply at all. Why it is not a supply? Because principle of mutuality says what? AOP and members are one and the same. That view has been taken by a high court and said like AOP providing services to members, providing goods to members for payment is not a supply because principle of mutuality is invoked. AOP and members are treated as one and the same. Sir, if I sell this tab to myself, is it a supply? Okay, then what happens? Tab with me only and that 50,000 also with me only. It's okay because I am selling to myself. Okay, when AOP and members are treated as same, then it is something like what? It's selling to itself only. That's why supply will not be attracted is the view of a particular high court. Then council and the GST team didn't, they didn't like that explanation. They didn't felt like it is not suitable or it's not their intention. So immediately to avoid further disputes, they introduced a new section to make that clear and to avoid further litigations and all. What they said, no. Okay, you don't interpret like principle of mutuality and all. That is not applies here. We are clearly saying, even though any other than individual, like it could be a company, it could be a firm, it could be an AOP, it could be a BOI, when it is providing services to its members or constituents, like whoever, like partners, those people, supplying any goods, services, either for cash or for deferred payment, it amounts to supply only. You don't invoke principle of mutuality rule. So, okay, it is supply. So you need not to think like firm and partners as same. When firm sells anything to partners, it is supply only. When partner sells anything to firm, it is supply. When AOP sells anything to members, then that is a supply only. You need not to invoke principle of mutuality. Just to say that principle of mutuality concept don't bring. Okay, don't bring that concept. They have invoked what? 7 subsection 1 clause A. See, any person other than individual carrying activities or transactions with its members for cash or deferred payment, it amounts to what? Supply. It amounts to supply. So see here, there are 1,000 members in an AOP. All these 1,000 members what? Okay, they wanted to celebrate Diwali, and they thought what? When they go individually and buy from cracker shop, na, those people are charging more. So what they thought means, we are 1,000 members. All the 1,000 members will pool money. And then AOP will buy in bulk. And from that bulk, they will be distributed to each and every member. See what happened? 1,000 members paid 2,000 rupees each to AOP. Now, 1,000 into 2,000, na, AOP got totally 20 lakhs. With this 20 lakhs, they went directly to Shivakasi. Where is Shivakasi? In Tamil Nadu, it is there, okay, which is famous for this crackers manufacturing and all. From there, they purchased a load of crackers. Truck they purchased, and they brought to the association. Now they sat and distributing. For you, one Pambilla, Vishnu Chakram. Okay, like that they are distributing to each and every member. So whether this distribution is supply or not? Yes, sir. Why? Because AOP giving goods for what? 2,000 rupees consideration. So read this definition. Any person. Yes, AOP is any person other than individual. Carrying an activity or transaction with its members. What? The distribution of crackers. For cash or deferred payment. Yes. Only if they pay 2,000 they'll get. Otherwise they'll not get. So that activity of AOP distributing to members is what? Supply as per what? 7 subsection 1 clause AA. Principle of mutuality is not valid here. Sir, between this crackers guy and AOP, anyhow it is supply only. Why? Because two different persons, there is sale of crackers. This crackers guy is a taxable person. 20 lakhs consideration is there. Crackers are goods and his business is to sell crackers only. So all the 5 conditions are satisfied. It is supply as per 7 subsection 1A. Between AOP and members, it is under 7 subsection 1 clause AA. Then 7 subsection 1 clause B. 7 subsection 1 clause B. Yes, ITC also it can take. 7 subsection 1 clause B. 7 subsection 1 clause B is about what? Import of services for a consideration. It is supply. Whether such service you received for business or non-business are irrelevant. You have imported a service and it is for consideration, it amounts to supply. Okay, na sir? What happened? So Manjunath, I said like in the morning class, how many branches is having? 3 branches. Okay, all the 3 branches came to know that what? He is not distinct person, he is same person only. Okay, see, understand, sir. Manjunath is having a divorce issue. Okay. His wife asking him for, you are married already? No, okay, then fine. His wife asking for divorce. Assam. She is asking for divorce. So, okay, what happened? She only hits him. She is only asking for a divorce. Okay, and she is asking him to pay. So these days, compensation. Not compensation. There is a fair word for it. Telugu Barna. English I don't know. Alimony. Okay. He has to pay alimony to her. So now she is demanding alimony of 30 crores. So cheap. 30 crores. Okay, he is saying like, I don't have that much money, I cannot pay you that much alimony. Okay, but she is like, okay, he has properties actually. That's why she is demanding 30 crores. Plus 50% of his salary. Not that 30 crores. Every month from salary he has to give again 50% also. Now that much alimony she is demanding. And no lawyer in India cannot find it. So what? He took the help of an advocate from UK. So now from there, the advocate is giving ideas and all, how to escape from this alimony and all. So he is getting legal service from outside India. For that he is paying consideration also. He paid some 10,000 pounds also as consideration. So there is a service from outside India to India, import of service. He paid consideration also. But is it for business purpose or personal purpose? But still it is a supply only. Import of service for a consideration is supply, irrespective of whether it is in the course or furtherance of business. Sir, that one who is providing service is his brother only. Brother only giving service. But still he paid consideration. Then also it's irrelevant whether he is brother other than brother. You check consideration is there or not. It's an import of service. There is consideration. It amounts to what? Supply. Okay. Whether it is related to business or not related to business. Okay. Mandeep wants to learn Spanish. Spanish. Okay. So he had a Spanish tutor. Okay. So every day through online she'll be taking Spanish classes. You might have a question, sir, how he'll understand, sir, if she teaches Spanish? Spanish to English. Okay. She'll teach every word. Like one means this in Spanish, two means this in Spanish, like that. Okay. They are having Spanish classes. Why? Because Mandeep wants to start a Spanish restaurant, Spanish themed restaurant. So there the people, everybody will talk. So like to give that feel, like as if you are in the Spain only, he want to start a theme restaurant with the Spanish theme. So for that the people and he has to at least some words they need to talk in Spanish. That's why he is learning Spanish. For that he paid consideration also. Now see sir, import of service for a consideration, personal purpose or business? Business purpose only, but still it amounts to what? Supply. Let's say personal purpose. Okay, he wanted to be friend with someone who is from Spanish. Then it is for what? Personal purpose. Still it amounts to supply. Okay, import of service for a consideration amounts to supply, irrespective of whether it is in the course or furtherance of business. See sir, here there's a point. Okay, so I'll come back to that one. Then the last one, sir, under 7 subsection 1. 7 subsection 1 clause C. It lists out transactions which are treated as supply even though there is no consideration. Even though there is no consideration, still it amounts to supply. There are only 4 points. Those 4 points are mentioned in schedule 1. Okay. Sir, 7 subsection 1 clause A is about what? In general. Supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services or both in the course or furtherance of business. Then 7 subsection 1 clause A. Any person other than individual entering into any transactions or activities with their members for cash or deferred payment, that also amounts to supply. 7 subsection 1 clause B. Import of service with consideration, then it is supply. It is irrelevant what? Whether it is related to business or not. It is irrelevant. Then 7 subsection 1 clause C is what? Transactions treated as supply even though there is no consideration. Sir, in general, without consideration, it is not a sale. Pre-GST era and all, if there is no consideration, they didn't even tax them. But in GST only, they have identified 4 cases where even though there is no consideration, still they will treat them as supply. Okay. One among them first is again import of service. Import of service without consideration. There is no consideration, but you imported a service. Import of service without a consideration from the related person or distinct person. Such service is taken from where? Related person or distinct person in the course or furtherance of business, it amounts to supply. Sir, understand? 2 import of services are there. Import of service with consideration, without consideration. With consideration, always supply. Import of service with consideration, it is always supply. Without consideration, you need to check extra 2 conditions. What are those 2? First one, it should be received from your related person or distinct person. Second one, it should be in the course or furtherance of business. Then if these 2 conditions are satisfied, it amounts to supply. Sir, always don't think like import means it should come from outside India only. Sir, I have 2 units. One is in SEZ area, the other one is in normal area. From SEZ, if you bring anything to DTA, it also called as what? Import only. So import means not necessarily being from outside India. Sir, understand, in Hyderabad, we have SEZ zones where the software companies are there. I have one software company in Amirpet. It's a normal commercial area, not SEZ, DTA only, domestic tariff area. But in Gachboli, Nanakramguda, there I have, in SEZ also, let's say I have a software company. So that Nanakramguda company, if it is providing any service to the Amirpet one, that also comes under what? Import of service only. Sir, both in Hyderabad only, na? Still it comes under what? Import of service only. Why? Because from SEZ to DTA, if you provide any service, that comes under import only. So import means not necessarily from outside India to India. Even within India also, from a special economic zone to normal DTA, that also has to be treated as what? Import only. So once again, sir, transactions treated as supply even though there is no consideration. From there, first point we started discussing. Import of service. Even though there is no consideration, still it amounts to supply. But what are the conditions? It should be related to his business in the course of furtherance of business. Second one, it should be from a related person or distinct person. Let's say, sir, Bharadwaj has hired an architect from Australia. Okay. Hired an architect from Australia to construct his residential building. Paid $2,000. Now what? It is a supply. Import of service, consideration. It is a supply. He didn't pay any consideration. He didn't pay any consideration. But the one who is designing that one is his wife only. His wife, architect, but they were in Australia. She given a design for him to construct the residential building. Import of service. That architect service is a import of service. Since wife only is not paying anything. But for what that particular design? Residential building. So import of service without consideration from a related person. But in the course or furtherance of business, no. Because that is for construction of what? Building. So that it is not in the course or furtherance of business. Hence it is not a supply. Let's say, sir, he is constructing a factory. For that factory, architect service has been received. From whom? Wife, outside India, architect service received. Since wife only, he didn't pay any consideration. Import of service, no consideration. Import of service, no consideration. But in relation to what? It is from a related person and in the course or furtherance of business. Then it amounts to what? Supply. So import of service without consideration, 2 points to be checked. What are those 2 points? See. Import of service for a consideration in the course or furtherance of business, supply. Okay. Sir, whether it is in the course or furtherance of business also, it is supply only. We'll go further about that point. Import of service when there is no consideration, we need to check what? From a related person, and if it is in the course or furtherance of business, then it is supply. If these two conditions are not satisfied, then it is not a supply. And one more thing you should understand, sir. Usually, who will pay tax? Supplier or recipient? Supplier. But in import case, where supplier will be located? In import case, where supplier will be there? Outside India. Can he pay tax? Will the outside, whether the person, the supplier who is in outside India will pay tax? No. That's why recipient only has to pay in import RCM. In import cases, if they are taxable now, almost it is what? RCM. Only exception is OIDR. Online Information Data Access and Retrieval Services is an exception. In all the other cases, if it is import, supplier will not pay tax practically. Even if the GST people ask him to pay tax, he'll say simply, who are you? I will not pay, do whatever you want. Because these people cannot go and ask him to pay taxes. That's why they kept what? RCM. RCM means what? Recipient has to pay tax under reverse charge mechanism. Then there is a doubt. Sir, if building society taken membership fees and provided lift service, it is supply. Yes, Abhishek, it is supply only. Taxable or exempted secondary. Sir, I am not saying it is taxable or exempted. We didn't even reach it to that level to decide taxable or exempted. Here our scope is only to decide first it is a supply or not. So, okay, if that is your question, yes, it is a supply. Exempted or taxable, then that is exempted also. Yes, Raghava. Okay, so now here we are going one step ahead and discussing an exemption point also. Actually, supply chapter, our scope is to decide what? Supply or not. Once it is a supply, then we should decide about taxable or exempted. But here, I am bringing forward and discussing one exemption point also. What is that point? Import of service for a consideration. What I said, it's a supply only. But in that case, there is an exemption also. What is the exemption? Import of service for a consideration, but it is not in the course or furtherance of business. Consideration is there, but it is not related to his business. And the person being imported is government, charitable entity, or an individual. In such case, that supply is exempted, and that exemption is not available on OIDR services. Let me give you an example, sir. Manjunath taking legal service. What? Divorce. Okay. Further, Manjunath taking legal service from outside India regarding his divorce. Personal related or business related? Personal, not related to business. First, what we said, it is irrelevant for us. If it is an import of service and consideration is paid, it is supply. Yes, still on that point only, it is supply only. But now we are further deciding whether it is taxable or exempted. There is an exemption available to him. Is he an individual or not? Yes, he is an individual or government or charitable institution. Okay. And the service received is for what? Other than business purpose. Then it comes under exemption. See. Import of service. He paid lawyer fee, but not in the course or furtherance of business because personal issue. And importer is whom? Manjunath only. He is individual. Hence such supply is what? Exempted. It is a supply, but it is exempted. So Manjunath having a dispute not with life partner, with business partner. Okay, with business partner. He and some other person together, they are doing a business. In that business issue, he is having a dispute. Took legal advice. Import of service for a consideration, but in the course or furtherance of business, hence it is supply taxable. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, exempted. It is a supply, but it is what? Exempted. And exemption not available in case of OIDR services. Sir, the recipient is not government, charitable entity, individual, some other. Then it is a supply only. Exemption will not applicable. So exemption is simple. When there is an import of service for a consideration and the importer is government, charitable entity or an individual, and such service is not going to be used in the course or furtherance of business, and it is not a OIDR service also, then such supply is exempted. Okay. So what is OIDR? OIDR means online information data access and retrieval services. OIDR is different, e-commerce operator is different. E-commerce operator, they'll provide a platform where buying and selling can happen. OIDR, no buying and selling will happen. But you have the facility to store data, download data, process the data there. So these kind of online services are there, then they come under OIDR. All social media platforms. Instagram, you view data, you can download. Okay, YouTube, OIDR only. Netflix, all these OTT platforms. Netflix, Prime, okay, so all these will come under what? OIDR. Sir, what it? Sir, movie in system language, a movie, a song, all these are data only, na? Sir, no, sir. If you put it as like, it's a different type of file format. That's it. For a system, for a computer, everything is like data only. You put a movie, it's a data. You put a photo, it's a data. Or you put a file, a text file, word file, that is also data only for it. So that online, through online, you can view data, access data, retrieve data, store data, then they'll come under OIDR services. Google provides us OIDR service. Google Photos, you can store data whenever you want, retrieve. That space will be provided. Then AI, all these AI apps, ChatGPT and all are also called as what? OIDR services. Sir, simple, sir. Here, these services are highly automated. Highly automated. Highly automated means what? Sir, let's say, sir, I went to Netflix and want to play RRR movie. If I just make a click, it plays. There is no one sitting in the back office of. Sir, if you know, previously CD cable, you know, local networks used to be there. There's something called CD cable. You don't know? Okay, so what happens in that CD cable, na? In these towns and all, these cable operators will be there. So for that city only, they used to be there. They are called as local CD cable operators back then. Okay, if you want to watch a movie, na, then you can call them and ask also. It's okay, maybe today or tomorrow they'll play that movie only in TV, in that particular local cable channel. Okay, see, in movies also will be there, Kanchanmala cable TVs or this kind of Shatamanam Bhavati, if you see the movie. There, Sharvanand friend only will be running all this cable network and all. He'll stop the cable network and all. So such way, okay, previously it used to be there. They used to give a number also. You can call to this number and ask for a movie or ask to play a song like that. Okay. If that is happening, understand, sir? There what happening, if you want to play a movie, na, it's not becoming automated. You call and tell, then that person is physically inserting that particular CD or DVD and playing. Is that same thing happening in Netflix? When you ask to play RRR movie, is there someone sitting in back office of Netflix and playing or putting in RRR CD or RRR DVD? No, right? It is highly automated. Or else I ask a random question in ChatGPT. Okay, so any random question. Okay, I am having hair fall, what to do? That another side, will there be any doctor sitting there and giving me explanations and all? No, right? So it's highly automated. Services which delivery is mandated by IT. Those services you cannot receive without IT. Only because of IT those services are available. And over internet only those services are available. Nature of such service essentially makes them automated with minimal human interference, and it is impossible to provide such service in the absence of IT. You cannot even expect that service if there is no IT. Can you expect ChatGPT? Can you expect Instagram when there is no internet? IT ganaka lekapothe Instagram untada, YouTube untada, Facebook untada, ChatGPT, OpenAI systems and untaya. There are like, sir, business related na cloud computing. What is cloud computing? These days, the businesses are not storing their data with them. All their businesses, because, sir, if you see, banks will have so much of data. Okay, many businesses are having so much of, sir, even BCCA. All this content you want to watch through classes, recorded classes. Where do we store all this? Okay, all our content is being stored in cloud. Okay, that cloud, from that cloud, whenever you want, you are accessing, whenever you want, you are seeing. So when we keep the data, we store data in a cloud. That also comes as what? OIDR service. Okay, onlinely only. So let's say, sir, I want to check some IDT classes. Now, will there be any person back end sitting in the cloud office and, okay, he's asking this particular video, na? Okay, take this, like that, any human intervention is there? No, everything is automated. So what are to call as OIDR? 3 points. Such services are available only through internet. So Swiggy, Zomato will come under OIDR. Swiggy, Zomato will come under OIDR. Why? Because that whole service is not completed through internet. When you order a biryani, it will not just pop up from the mobile. There should be, someone should physically cook that, and there is another guy who has to bring that delivered to you. So there is physical intervention mostly, not just directly. You are just facilitating through online the order much more faster. Otherwise, not completely done in the online itself. But such ChatGPT, I raised the query. For that, no doctor will come and tell me, or no expert will come and tell me. There itself it will tell some query, whatever it knows. Maybe right or wrong, it tells whatever it knows. Understand? So it is completely automated. These gaming apps, sir, this PUBG, Free Fire, in that games, we have seen in news, like an 8th class student playing Free Fire, and there he purchased all those, like there are certain accessories to buy. Okay, he purchased all them, used his mother money, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs savings he kept in bank account, everything has been used and all. You see in news, right? So same thing, sir. In those games and all, there are certain paid things and all. See, let's say in a Free Fire game, he has ordered a gun. Let's say to get a gun, he has to pay some 1,000 rupees. He paid 1,000 and got a gun. He'll get real gun, huh? A virtual thing only he'll get. So that means what? The whole service is completed within the online only. Okay, then they comes under what? OIDR. Okay, only through online they'll provide you information, data, access, retrieval services. Information, data. So data na raw material. Information na processed. Is called information. Understand? Data is the raw thing. When data got processed, it becomes information. So data, information, access and retrieval services mandated only through IT, essentially automated and impossible in the absence of IT. Sir, Swiggy, Zomato are possible even though there is no internet. Like how? They'll give a, sir, Domino's is running the delivery services even before Swiggy, Zomato. Okay, they'll give a number, you'll call to the number and order a pizza, they'll deliver it within 30 minutes. Okay, so it's not just because of Swiggy, Zomato they are surviving. Before them also, Domino's used to do the same kind of campaign. Okay, that means what? And even not because of Ola, Uber only cabs are running. Previously also there is a concept of radio taxi, where there will be a toll-free number. If you call to that number, a cab will be booked for you. So without internet also those things will work. But these things, these online games, OTT platforms, social media platforms, these will not work without internet. And these are highly automated. So these are called as what? OIDR services. So if there is any import of OIDR services, okay, if the recipient is like unregistered person, government, charitable entity and individuals, then they are taxable only, but taxable under FCM. If there is, sir, let's say BCCA has taken OIDR service, then it is taxable under RCM. Import of OIDR service, if the recipient is BCCA, why? BCCA is a registered person, then it is supply taxable under RCM. Whereas we took, like what? From Netflix subscription we are taken. Import of OIDR service from where? US, Netflix. Recipient is unregistered person. That is also taxable, but taxable under what? FCM. So Netflix only has to pay tax. You may have a question. Sir, Netflix outside India, how it will come and pay tax? They'll ask them to appoint an agent here and such agent has to pay the tax. Understand, sir? OIDR services provided to unregistered individuals, government, charitable entities and any other individuals, then they are covered under, other than for business purpose, then they are taxable under RCM. If provided to others, then they are taxable under, sorry, the first one only taxable under FCM, second one taxable under RCM. In simple, sir, we took Netflix subscription or we took any, sir, to do these videos and all, I have taken an app downloaded. Let's say for example, I paid subscription to that app. Okay, and it asked me many services, sir, to merge the videos. Filmora is an app where we need to pay subscription. It will ask in dollars. That means it is somewhere outside India, but taking service here. So OIDR service only, online information, data access, retrieval service from outside India. If it is provided to unregistered person, taxable only, taxable under FCM. Provided to registered person, taxable only, but taxable under RCM. Okay. Sir, these people are called as, these recipients are called as NTOR, non-taxable online recipients. For them there is a name, NTOR, non-taxable online recipients. Who are them? An unregistered person, government, charitable entity or individual, and they are taking services for what? Other than business purpose. Then they are called as NTOR. when import of OIDR service is by NTOR, is a supply taxable under FCM. Other than NTOR, it's a supply taxable under RCM. What is called NTOR, sir? Non-taxable online recipients. Who are those? Unregistered person, then charitable entity, then government, and then the fourth one is unregistered person, charitable entity, government, and then the fourth one is like unregistered person, charitable entity, government, and then the fourth one is like any other individual. Here unregistered, any unregistered person, charitable entity, government, individual, and they are taking for any purpose other than business. Okay, to this person, now what happened? OIDR has provided a import of service. OIDR has provided what? Import of service. So when a OIDR is providing import of service to NTOR, NTOR means what? He is an unregistered person, charitable entity, government, or an individual, any purpose other than business, then it is taxable under what basis? FCM. It is a supply taxable under FCM. It's okay, sir. So I'm closing for today. So tomorrow, so we'll be completing supply. Sir, let us continue with the same live session, sir. I'm not ending this to the online students. So again, otherwise to set up and all unnecessary 5 minutes time waste. So we'll start again the class at 10:05 a.m. Okay. So the same live, YouTube live will be continuing.